This Friday, all of school is having a themed dress down day to spread awareness for the organizations WWF and ALDF. WWF being Sophia's and ALDF being mine. We are wearing green to support the two organizations. ALDF, or Animal Legal Defense Fund, focuses on protecting animals from abuse and getting them their rights. And WWF, or World Wildlife Foundation, focuses on saving wild animals and important habitats. I encourage you to support them in any way possible. You can learn more about them on aldf.org or worldwildlife.org, or just feel free to ask Sophia and I. Thank you. So now it's my chapel. Throughout my long years at Montgomery, I've seen a fair amount of chapels. And you know, the 8th grade chapels were always being my favorite. This is because they had a nice moral at the end. Their morals were very sweet and simple, like be yourself, be positive, and so on. While I love these chapels, I couldn't help but think, wouldn't it be nice if they told us how to be ourselves, or how to be positive, instead of just demanding us to? So fast forward to my 8th grade year, and they tell me that I have to come up with a chapel topic. And I'm sitting there thinking back to my idea for how there should be a how-to chapel. This is my one and only personal chapel in Montgomery, and I would really like it to mean something. And so I'm going through all these ideas for chapel when it hits me. Hello, Lower School. I'm Sarah, and today I will be talking to you about how to live a happy life. If you're wondering, yes, this is going to be a how-to chapel. And I'm going to tell you the best qualities focused on life to make it a happy one. This will be in segments, so hopefully it's pretty easy to keep up with. For this segment, I'll be talking about YOLO and the aftermath, and how to live with no regrets. Does anyone here know what YOLO means? Oh, yeah, if anyone didn't hear, it means you only live once. YOLO would be a really good thing, but there's this one problem where so many people misinterpret it and do really dumb things. They think that they should do certain activities that endangers their safety and health because you only live once. But really, that's the reason they shouldn't do it. You have your whole life to hurt your body. You should choose the path that is better for you and your safety. But even knowing this, people still don't know when it's right and wrong to say YOLO. So when do we know when to YOLO and when to not YOLO? Well, I'm here to help with that. We're going to play a game called, drum roll please, YOLO or Yo-No. How this game works is these 4 average J people here are going to act out a situation. And then I'm going to ask on you whether they should YOLO or Yo-No. Our average J people are known by the names of Aubrey, Sophia, Jill, and Caitlin. Okay, so this is the first situation. Play. Okay, pause. In this situation, Jill here is with her friends. They're telling her that they're going to go ice skating tonight, and we're wondering if she wanted to come. But they also have a big test tomorrow, counting for like 100% of their grade. Should Jill say YOLO and not study, or Yo-No and study her heart out? Okay. Okay, let's see what happens if Jill said Yo-No. This is the day after the test. Okay, so Jill walks in to get her test grade, and blam, a big old F. Oops, a big old A. Now, you see, if Jill went ahead and didn't study, she probably would have gotten a blam, big old F. Okay, so now to the last situation. Play. Okay, pause. In this situation, Sophia is in an exotic country with her friend Aubrey. She's being offered a scorpion on a stick in a food market. Should Sophia say YOLO and try it, or Yo-No and keep walking? Okay. So let's see what happens if Sophia says YOLO. Okay, so she's trying it, and what's this? She doesn't like it? What's this? The friend's trying it, and they love it. Now, if she were to say Yo-No and kept walking, her friend would have never been able to enjoy it. Sure, she hated it, but hey, at least now she knows. Thank you. In situation 1, saying YOLO could jeopardize your grades, which could also affect your mental health, and would take some time to make up that grade. While in situation 2, saying YOLO could open you up to a new experience that wouldn't harm you. That is, unless you're allergic to scorpions. To answer the question about when you should YOLO and when to not YOLO, I personally think that if something like a scorpion on a stick, you should try it. If you make sure it's safe, this may be your only shot to try it. And why not try it instead of wondering what if? But if it's something like a guy walks up to you on the street and offers you free skydiving, that's really sketchy, and I don't think YOLO would be a very safe choice for that situation. While in the moment and about to say YOLO, you need to remember that what you do now will shape you into the person that you will be tomorrow. So you always need to be careful and make the right decisions so you turn into the right you. But enough about YOLO. Let's get to the other half of this segment, which is no regrets. Recently, I saw this one saying that said, "Why regret something you once wanted?" And this really spoke to me. I've always cared what people thought of me, and sometimes people say stuff like, "Hey, remembering you?" And I'm like, "Hush, don't speak." Because although I wanted it at the time, for some reason when people brought it up as a joke, I regret it. For instance, say you used to like green beans. I don't like them as much now. But people brought it up, and you guys laughed about it together. But laughing about it sort of made you feel ashamed about it. And I don't think that's just right. You liked it then, and you can like it now. Don't be ashamed of something like that. Of course, there are going to be some really big mistakes that you will regret. You can make mistakes, but you must take something away from each mistake. Learn from your mistakes and improve on how you handle situations like the one that you're just in. You can't avoid bad things from happening, but you want to walk away from them so they shape you into a beautiful person, because they make you into the person that you are today and will be tomorrow. So if you can't read that up there, it says making time and staying active. For making time, I found myself a lot happier from this. And what I mean by making time is every day for at least 10 minutes, do something for yourself. Whether it's a bubble bath or just playing outside, do something that makes you happy. And I mean mind and body happy, not just lay on the couch and eat chips happy. I guarantee you'll find yourself much more happy. Which sort of transitions me into my topic about staying active. Well, the fact that staying active for 20 minutes a day is good for you, I'm talking about keeping an active schedule. In the plenty of snow days that we've had off so far, obviously I've gotten a lot of free time. Like, a lot of free time. And for about half the days that we've gotten off, I've literally just laid on the couch, watched TV, and occasionally fell asleep. But the other half of the days, I went out, played in the snow, ran errands with my mom, shoveled, and so on. Having firsthand experience with doing nothing and doing something, I can say that at the end of the day, I was happier when I did something. Gonna bring a little science in here and say that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest. And that's true with human beings. In the morning, you should take that little bit of perseverance in you and do something. Odds are if you do something in the morning like walk the dog, make breakfast, etc., you will be more productive throughout the day. The days that I had an active schedule, I felt awake and accomplished. I was happy that I got a lot done that day. Next, I'll be talking about trying new things and just doing it. First, I'll just talk about just doing things. When I was younger, if I got nervous about things, I would just drop it. Like actually just avoid the unfamiliarity and keep walking. But this all changed a couple of years ago. So for the past 2 years, I would say, I've taken pre-swim team lessons in the winter. And I swam for about an hour with some strangers. But that was the problem, strangers. You see, when I'm put in an awkward social situation, I'd rather not. And I would be swimming with these people for about an hour, and I would probably have to talk to them. So it's my first day to the lessons, and I remember getting insane butterflies in my stomach. I was just so nervous. Actually, I was seriously just considering not going because I was so nervous. When I showed up, I met a few people on my lesson, and they were insanely friendly to me. They washed away all the nervousness in my body, and I ended up having a really good time with them. From then on, when I did new things or met new people, I just did it. Every time my mom drove me to my swim lessons, I got insane butterflies, and I still do. I can't stop the anxious feeling from coming up, but I can tell it to be quiet and just do it. about just doing things, let's talk about trying new things. Once I was on the internet one day and came across this photo that said, "When was the last time you did something for the first time?" And yes, it really spoke to me. At the time I read it, I couldn't remember when was the last time I did something for the first time, because I couldn't remember. After I saw the photo, I tried to put myself out there more and try new things. Trying new things opens you up more and gives you more opportunities to find something new that you like. Even if you didn't like whatever you tried, at least you had the experience, right? You're young. You have time, youth, your parents' money. You could do anything. Believe it or not, your age right now, up to about 25 max, is the prime time to do the most amazing things and start to acquire real passion for life. I also think that being able to say that you try something new every day is amazing. Whether it's taking up a new sport or trying Mrs. Dadelow's cheese and ham crickets, trying new things will give you a more experienced outlook on life and bring out the happy in you. Now I'm talking about slowing down. Quite recently, I saw a very lovely movie called About Time, and it's about this guy who is able to time travel back to a point in his life, change something, then come back to the present day. And there was this point in the movie where his dad told him the secret to living happy. He said that he should go throughout his whole day normally till the very end, but at the end of the day, time travel back to the beginning and relive his day almost exactly the way he did before. I know you're probably like, why wouldn't he change anything? But just let me explain. In one of his days, he didn't do too well at his job, missed the train, and ended up feeling quite awful throughout the rest of his day. But when he relived it, he already knew what would happen throughout his day. The point where him and his friend are rushing to get to the train, he already knew he would miss it. So there's a point where he stopped running, looked up, and noticed how beautiful it was around him. In his normal day, he never looked up to see the beauty around him. And that was the point where I was like to myself, wouldn't it be great if I could time travel and live, so I could live without being anxious throughout what happened throughout the rest of my day? Realization hit me not too soon after. Unless scientists find a way, I will never be able to time travel. So now realizing this devastating tragedy, I wondered how I could live like that. And it's simple, but it's not so simple. You need to not stress so much about what will happen throughout your day. Act like you already know what will happen and go through your day with such happiness that it will make others want to be you. It's hard, but you just need to tell yourself to let go. There's a lot of text up there, but it says being yourself and surrounding yourself with the right people. When I was younger, my mom always told me to just be myself, and that sounded so strange to me because how could I be anyone else? Well, as you grow older, you realize that social situations get tougher and being yourself isn't as easy. Sometimes people even feel ashamed of who they are because others may not like them. And one thing that people always say is that you must love yourself before you let others love you. I'm going to show you a very cute poem to describe. She had blue skin, and so did he. He kept it hid, and so did she. They searched their life for blue their whole life through, then passed right by and never knew. What this poem means is that if everyone hid who they were, no one would know who to like. If you are embarrassed of who you are and try to hide it, you will never meet people that are just like you. Hiding yourself from others is pulling yourself away from the opportunities of meeting wonderful friends. I'm very fortunate to say that I have many friends that accept me. I don't know if they quite understand me, but they accept me. Finding all these amazing friends throughout my years at Montgomery has made me a much happier person. Every day they make me smile and laugh, and I'm blessed to have such an amazing grade. Speaking of amazing people, I'm also blessed to be surrounded with people who make the right decisions, but some aren't that lucky. Some people hang around bad friends. Whether they make you feel bad about yourself or peer pressure you to do things, bad friends are just that, bad friends. If they make you feel bad or push you to do things that you don't want to do, just speak up. Tell them how you feel, and if they're a good friend, they will understand and try to stop. But if they continue to push around, try to hang around with different people and remember this quote from Dr. Seuss. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. A very important thing that people often forget is people pick up habits of those around them, aka your friends shape you into the person that you are and will be. You want to hang out with the people that make you feel good to be in your own skin and happy to be living, because there's no greater success than turning into the right you. For this segment, I'll talk about what's really important. one very important key to happiness is knowing what's really important in life. I forget what grade I was in, but I remember one of Mr. Barley's chapels really spoke to me. He showed this video where a guy went around the world and went to public places and just danced. Eventually, people started to join him, and they were laughing and smiling and having a great time. While that was a cute video, it was what Mr. Barley asked us, what Mr. Barley said after the video, which made it so significant to me. After the video ended, Mr. Barley asked us if we saw any fancy cars, big houses, and so on. He stated that all the people that were happy and smiling didn't need any luxuries to be so. So many simple moments of happy are overlooked and underappreciated each day. So when you start to appreciate the simple things of life, you can become more happy over the simplest of things. Which reminds me of something. One school morning, my advisor sat down and we talked what we thought about success and how we measure it. This talk got me thinking. We can be successful in many different things, but to be successful in life, all you need is to just be happy. You could be living on the streets and be successful. It all depends if you're happy. You shouldn't care what others think of you, and just strive to be happy with yourself, because there's no greater success to be happy with yourself and happy to be alive. You know, you did it. You're happy now. You can do anything. So, if you decide that you don't want to do any things that I just listed because you'd rather do something more easy, I made a short list of things that you could have more of in your life to make it a little bit closer to happiness. Simple things. Okay, here it goes. Humor, donuts, puppies, kittens. Puppies and kittens together. Hug, a joke, springtime. Those cinnamon sticks that we get with tacos. Smiles, good grades, chocolate, more puppies, flowers, a gift card to your favorite store, cookies, listening, generosity, music, read us on a hot summer day, cool friends, studying, Nutella, chips, swimming, oceans, family, ice cream, snow angels, Mr. Bennett's dreadlocks, sports, brownies, movies, nice smelling perfumes, slushies, Wi-Fi, trees, flower, nice smelling shampoos, good teachers, beach balls, gourmet cupcakes, pickles, blankets, new clothes, honesty, goldfish, and a super cool chapel that's about happiness. Thank you for listening, and have a happy day.